to the production cycle. So production cycle simply means that all the activities that is involved in launching a product to the market and its feedback. So that actually starts with identification of the product, and from there we actually take to the production part. So we start with how many products has to be made, that is the sales forecast, then the preparation of production budget, detailed drawings if any, definitely it is required by the design department. Then our PPC part, that is the product, starts with production planning, authorization for the production, control, inspection, evaluation, your finished goods and dispatching to the customers. Then your customer will be having some feedback, or the interaction with the customer will be taken by the sales department for the forecasting, and definitely the management will be taking feedback at each and every important relevant portions of the production activity. So the whole sketch actually gives the production cycle. Please keep that in mind, and please take it as a flow chart itself. Please learn this. Now we can go to the functions of PPC. That we starts with the pre-planning, where we actually decide on what type of layout we need to have. That is the macro level design, which is having product or process design you need to take, or you need to go for a flow design layout. And your forecasting of demand is also done at this part. After the pre-planning is over, we will be going in detail to the planning session, where we starts with your business, laying out your business plan by the management. Then you can go for aggregate production planning and your master production scheduling. So those activity actually complete your planning area, where then you can go for routing, scheduling, estimating and all those levels, where routing and all, it all state you about or defines about how your material and your facilities is moving out in your particular production scenario. And you need to plan your resources, that is your man, machine, money, etc. So all those things. And later on you go to, after completing your planning area, you will go to the control, how you can actually control the process done in the industry, and how you can complete all the works in all the works on time. So the major functions of production control, it's actually uh, like there are many objectives on doing your production control. It can be like you need to make sure that the production operations are started at the planned places, or it is done at the right time and the right place. You need to you need to provide raw materials, equipment, machines and labor to organize your production schedule in conformity with the demand forecast, that is the major one, without causing any lead time. Proper coordination of operations of various sections and departments, where you are analyzing your recorded data with the plans and measuring the deviations, taking immediate corrective actions if any required, to perform the inspection of your semi-finished and finished goods. You can have any quality control methods that you require. Then it's also responsible for your product design and development in future. Major functions of those are the major functions of production control actually. uh, Now moving further, the major steps, coming to the steps or functions in detail. uh, these are the stages or steps in production planning and control. Actually it can start with the first one is planning. Planning can be again detailed planning is coming to routing, scheduling. Then the production control part is about dispatching and follow-up. So generally you have to keep at least these four things in mind. We will discuss production planning or the planning types in detail in the next slide. So please keep that sequence. First relates to planning and the last two relates to control. So routing, scheduling, dispatching and follow-up. Coming to the sequence of planning, because we need to know how an industry plans its operations well in advance. Always you will be having a business plan for any industry. So the corporate strategies and policies or your political conditions, competitions, aggregate your demand forecasting, everything will contribute to the major business plan. That is actually a long range production and capacity planning, which actually decide on what type of say layout you need to have, what type of production strategy you need to have, whether you need to go for job order, continuous or batch type production or something like that, where you need to locate your plant facility, what material handling things you need to have. All those will be briefly depicted in your business plan, because that will actually deals with the capacity strategies. Okay, and the location itself, layout location or your facility location itself. Then you will be coming to the aggregate plan. Aggregate plan is like it's an intermediate range production capacity. Say it is done for say some months only. So based on your forecast or sales forecast or demand forecasting, you prepare an aggregate plan for production. And then we will come to the specific one, that is a master schedule, where in master schedule you'll be having a plan for say 8 weeks, 10 weeks, like 2 months maximum to 2.5 months. Example that I can give about aggregate production plan and master production plan is this one. Say here it shows a aggregate plan and master schedule for mattress production. Say aggregate plan shows you the production requirement for 2 months. Say in the first month you need to produce about 900, and in the second month you need to produce around 950. So now it doesn't give you any idea of which type of model you require, what type of how many number of items in a particular model is required. So that will be clearly defined in a master MPS or a master production schedule. So in the bottom side you can see that your first month or 4 weeks, you can see that a particular model you are having a 3 models listed, that is model 3 to 7, that will be produced in the first week 200 numbers. Then second week will be given for model 530, that is 100 units. Third week will be having model 538 and model 739, 100 each. Again you will be having model 327, that is 400 units. All together sum out to be 900. So that is how you are taking each and every thing from your aggregate production plan to master production schedule. So here it is clearly defined on which batch to be run or which type of product you need to concentrate on each week, or maybe you can define it in each day per day basis. So this is all about aggregate plan and master schedule. Master schedule is also master production schedule or MPS. Now we can go to the basic functions of production planning and control, where the first one you need to know is the routing. So routing means, from the word meaning itself, it define you are actually trying to route your route your material flow. So how your raw materials is transferred to your finished one. So production planning, it actually clearly starts with your routing. It designs on the path of the work and sequence of operation. So procedure will be like you will be analyzing the product. You will be having you need to decide on make or buy decision, because definitely you need to run on any break-even analysis and all. And then what all raw materials you are required, machines to be utilized, time have an efficient use of your resources. You can reduce the manufacturing cost by improving your inventory and all, improvement of quality and perfect basis for the perfect definition is it actually involves establishment of amount of work to be done and the time which each element of the works will start, and it also assigns to which type of machine or which type of process you are assigning a particular job to be done. So everything will be defined in a scheduling part. Say it's also in a if you are having a shop floor and you are having say n number of machines, you can schedule say one or two or three jobs to one or two machines. It's like n jobs, n machines. Say you are having n jobs and three machines. Say you are having only three machines. You need to cover up all the n jobs that is required to be completed. So in those cases you can go for a perfect scheduling operation. And please remember that it's a time phase of loading. So the time of completion is very important in the. So factors generally affect the scheduling is your external factors like demand, delivery date, stocks, maybe like inventory. It can be say if there are any idle time or say lead time in the inventory procurement, then that will definitely affect the scheduling. And it also some internal factors like your availability of equipments, manpower, materials, facility, etc. Everything will affect the scheduling part. Definitely, emergencies like this will affect the dispatching area. So it's not that dispatching where we actually dispatch your finished goods to the um, say customers. It's actually dispatching is the release of our work orders and the activities. Please keep in mind it starts with the issue of move orders, tool orders, job orders, etc. What being done in the production floor, product in the shop floor. That is a action that is required, that is coming under follow-up. So progress reporting means where we are actually collecting the data and say we already told on reporting, a recording of time and reporting or giving the feedback. That feedback area is the follow-up. So why we need to follow up is this is the area where we are analyzing whether we are sticking on to your initial plan. That is here as we are going according to your MPS, and as we are either we are like working based on our aggregate plan. Any deviation is there. If there is any deviation, you have to go for corrective actions. Okay. So these are the major functions in production planning and control. Major steps. You will be utilizing a wide variety of tools for all these functions. This will give only a basic idea about the steps in or stages in production planning and control. So these are the major functions listed out from the product design and development part. What are the issues to be covered in each and every sections? So you can see at the bottom area like your loading, routing, scheduling, expediting, everything is being listed, and the top part is coming to what type of product you need to make, your demand forecasting, capacity, your selection of equipments, maintenance. Then you will be having your aggregate plan where you actually select the materials, process planning will be done. Then you will be coming to your aggregate schedule, and later on you will be moving to the on the last sections you will be moving to your MPS and say day wise schedules will be there. Scheduling and sequencing activities will be there. Okay. Definitely you can track your progress. So the progress reporting and or the following up section will be very efficient. Uh, it can be very efficient in monitoring the progress of the production activity. So with all those things we just went through the production planning and control basics. uh, let me know if you have any further things to be cleared. uh, Please call me anytime or please message me anytime. We can keep in touch. uh, Stay safe.